Hello, and this is going to be a 3,000 point game with my Lizardmen against some Ogre kingdoms. So here we have the generals. I have this old Slan model I'm using, Slan Mage Priest Happy Hop. You can see a little happy face on his little banner thing there. And I'm up against my buddy Seabo, and he's using Ogre kingdoms with his Tyrant, and he calls him Oreg Stonefist. And the main thing with this guy is he's actually pretty tough. He has Maw Seeker, so he's toughness 6. He has the Trickster's Helm, so you have to re-roll to wound. He has the Fencer's Blade, so he's weapon skill 10. So defensively, he's actually really strong. So we got Battle for the Pass, as you can see here. And actually, Seabo is kind of groaning at this, saying, oh, he didn't like this one. But actually, I think this is actually kind of in his favor, because it means that my little support units can't really get around his line as easily as normally they would. But anyway, looking at what we have here, at my bottom left here, that's a hill, which is that Anvil of Vol. On the top right, top left there, you can see that kind of ruin thing, and I also have another one of those on my bottom right. Both of those are sorcerer portals, so each magic phase we're going to have 2 random spells going off. We've got 2 mysterious forests there, we got a wall across the middle, and then just a regular building there on the right side. Looking at his list, he has on the left there the 4 lead belchers. He has a gorger that's going to be coming in later. He's not actually there right now. He has a scrap launcher behind the woods, 20 of the nobblers, a big unit of 6 iron guts, and in there he has his I know his general is in there for sure. Then in the next one, he has a big unit of that's around. Okay, that's going to be 9 bulls, and in there he's going to be having his BSB and his Slaughtermaster. Then on the next one, that's 6 bulls, and in there he has the Butcher. And both those units of bulls, those both have Iron Fists. And then finally on the right, he has 4 Yetis. From me to left to right, I have my Skirmishing Skinks, I have my Salamander, I have 40 Saurus, then I have my Stegodon, behind them is my 20 Temple Guard with my Slan, then I have 50 Saurus with Spears, and in there I have an Old Blood that has the Sword of Bloodshed and the Potion of Strength. You might notice I love that combo. Then on the far right, I have 2 more Salamanders, I have more Skinks, and then I have 5 Croxagore. And in the top right, you can see there that I have 6 Chameleons. So looking at this game here, doing the math beforehand, I know that my blocks can handle, his biggest unit there on their own. However, the thing I'm worried about with them all being together like this is that if they combo charge, then I won't be able to handle this. And especially if you get some magic off, making them, +1 strength, +1 toughness, regen, whatever, then of course it really tips the favor, and then hopefully I'm just going for steadfast. I have the Lore of Life, so I might be able to be boosting some toughness and things, but again, that's going to require it going off. Here's a close-up picture of his main line, so you can see here that for the most part, he has it almost all painted up. He has some good conversions for all the characters. And here's kind of a close-up of mine. And I actually had thought when I was making my list for today that I'd actually go with a Horde of Temple Guard as well, but I wanted, to have the support units as well. So first interesting thing we're going to see is the portal on this side does a fireball and does 2 wounds to my Croxagore. And going through the game, this is going to be a usual thing. His portal is going to be making a scrap launcher, initiative 10 or +1 strength and toughness, and mine's going to be kicking my butt. So just the way it goes. However, the luck rapidly goes against him because he goes just to go and do the Bone Breaker spell against me, gets Irresistible Force, killing like 2 of my guys, and then the miscast kills his Slaughtermaster and does a wound to his Butcher. So right off the bat, his Slaughtermaster's dead. And so after everything's said and done, it looks like this. His whole line is just rushing up as fast as it can. The left bull unit, the Iron Guts, went into the woods. Turned out that's the one that makes you stupid, but with Maw Seeker on all his characters, they're stupid anyway, so he doesn't really care. And yeah, just really getting in there. The scrap launcher hitting my spears, killing I think another 5 of them, but overall not too worried so far. So on my side, the bad luck continues as far as magic is concerned. First of all, now that portal on my side made my Croxagore have their armor one worse than normal for the rest of the game. And then when I was going for the Throne of Vines, I got off with Irresistible Force, failed the 2+ to ignore it, killed 10 of my own guys, and then lost all the rest of my power dice. So the spell's off, but yeah, I killed 10 of my guys in the process. And after it looks like this. So the skinks on the left were able to kill one of the lead belchers and they failed panic. The skinks on the right was able to kill one of the yetis, but they pass. My salamanders go up, and they did a few wounds, killing one guy on that big unit on the right, but they passed their panics. And I hit the iron guts with my bolt thrower, killing one and doing some wounds to another. So not too bad. I have the one big unit of Saurus up there to take the initial charge, but we'll just have to see where this goes. So his turn 2, we have a whole bunch of charges, most of them being pretty minor, but the big one was here. His unit with the BSB and his general both wanted to charge this unit, but unfortunately the general rolled like 3 or something, so their unit is out, and it's just going to be this one unit against me. And he also gets his Gorger to come in, but of course, because it's the pass mission, it can't come in from the flanks, so it had to come in from behind me, and it has a little ways to go. So here's what it looks like at the end. His lead belchers rallied on the left. His bulls on the far right charged one salamander, then redirected into the other salamander. Both of them had fled. Turns out that's the woods that makes you cause fear, so no big deal. And what happened here on the right was kind of too bad. I had set it up so my Croxagore were a little bit more than 12 away from the front of the skinks there. So I thought he'd charge me, beat me up, I'd break, and then either you'd have the choice of staying there and kind of delaying him, or if he chased the skinks, he obviously wouldn't get to the Croxagore, and then I could counter him. But as it worked out, he killed all but one, and then I got Insane Courage. So that didn't really work out too well there. But on the left, when I did my first calculations, I kind of didn't think of the bull charge, and so of course with all those strength 6 attacks, he killed a whole bunch of me, and I actually lost combat by quite a bit, but luckily I was steadfast, so I was able to hold out. So on my turn, I thought this was going to be amazingly decisive. My Stegodon hits the flank here. I now have the Flesh to Stone on my regular guys, so they're all toughness 8. And so, I mean, obviously he does almost nothing to me. I do a whole bunch of wounds back, beat him by like, I don't know, a bunch, like a dozen. But he rolls Insane Courage, so he kind of just gets the same lucky dice that I got on the far right. And now I'm going to be getting some Iron Guts into the flank of my Stegodon. So after it looks like this, and you can see there's a few things here that did not go so well. To start off, on the left, my skinks keep on moving up. I killed one more of the lead belchers. My Spearsaurs charged the unit on the right. They decided to flee, and I redirected into his general's unit. I needed double 6s, and I failed. Here on the right here, my Croxagore decided to try and charge in, just to try and see if I can make this work. Of course the fireball does another wound to me, but whatever. And I actually got double 6s and got in, so that was really good. However, in combat, only 2 of my guys got to fight, and of course he did a whole bunch of wounds to me, unfortunately. He kills a skink, I did only 1 wound to him, and then he ran me down. So, huge loss of points. My salamanders rallied, which is good news, but, between some things that are going on here, I actually, other than his bull, Slaughtermaster that killed himself, I really haven't gotten any points, and he's starting to kick off some big points from me, so I gotta start turning things around. But unfortunately then, he does kind of the work for me. His Iron Guts had charged the flank of my Stegodon. The lead belchers had charged the skinks on the left. He has some charges against my salamanders on the right. One failed him with the Gorger, and then I fled away from the one from the Yetis. But anyway, when it came to this combat, he did some wounds to my Stegodon, and especially the crew. But the main thing was that I was still toughness 8. He did 1 wound to my Saurus. I did a whole bunch back, 1 combat, broke both units. The Stegodon actually ran down the Iron Guts in general, so they'd be gone. And then, even though these left ogres got away, the BSB is automatically dead, the banner guy is automatically dead. And so at this point, he said, "All right, I mean that's that's really the game." He's lost all 3 of his key characters, the majority of his bulls, and yeah, there's really no point. So victory to the Lizardmen. Some reasons for it, of course, is that it really didn't help his Slaughtermaster killing himself the very first thing of the game. That meant that with the way that the ranges work with the gut magic, is that the Butcher on the far right could not then support this combat on the far left, and so with that, it was really just left up to my magic to tip it into my favor. Uh, and otherwise, I mean, I think he did have a little advantage with him slowly taking out my support units, but overall, I mean, you just couldn't get past that toughness 8, and then in the end, I just ran down 2 of his major units, and it actually turned out to be a little bit of a disappointing game for both of us. I mean, we had a little bit of a build-up of this game on Warseer. I thought it could be a really big bloody battle, maybe my old blood fighting his tyrant or something, but in the end, none of that really paid off, and it really just came down to this key battle on the left here that all really went my way. So there you have it. Hope you at least like the painted models.